Hello, I am Sharon Haver from FocusOnStyle.com, and we're sitting here with Mr.
Brad Boles from the Real Housewives of New York City and the editor-at-large for FocusOnStyle.com.
I'm always so excited when he says it right. You know what Brad did on his Facebook? He said that he refuses to call me by name. He says, I went to the GLAD Awards with Focus on Style. So, you know, I have this thing, like, my straight guy friends call me Haver.
Yeah.
My GBFs call me, Focus on Style.
Ooh.
And then my other straight friends have all these names to me. I don't think my husband has ever called me Sharon unless he was talking to a third person that we didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what does it take for people to, like, actually call me Sharon? You see,
yeah,
he's walking back there.
By the way, you guys should check out my Facebook. It's very informative. There's always updates and things going on, so check me out.
And if you want to check my husband out, he's a guy stalking behind the pool table.
Today's subject matter is
what to wear to an office holiday party.
But before we get started on that subject, a recent viewer asked us a very funny question, and I want to kind of answer it. To rent a wedding dress or not to rent a wedding dress? How strange is that to you, the concept?
Well, you know, I'm not the girl for the big weddings. We've already, you know, I got married in a vintage dress in the Supreme Court by the guy who calls you for jury duty.
Do you not? But don't you find it kind of strange to think that you would rent a dress that you would return? Isn't it supposed to be a lifetime memory?
I don't know. I had mine cleaned and I put it in the closet. And it's in a plastic bag somewhere, and I don't really have any sentimental attachment.
Okay, well, my opinion, I'm of the opinion that no, don't rent.
Well, I think it depends on the person. I think when it's a young bride and she looks at it as her wedding being her party of a lifetime, you know, and it's just, you know, she wants the 5,000 million people there. She wants to spend the fortune on the dress. This is her Cinderella
did you hear that it was in the newspapers? I don't know if you're all aware of this, but Prince William's fiance, they're saying that she is spending upwards of $200,000 in the gown for the wedding.
That's
a royal wedding.
That's a royal wedding, and it's just, that's different, and that's something that, you know, just like Princess Diana's across the world, that's, you know, it's an aspirational...
Did you hear, by the way, that the Queen is on Facebook now?
Yes, I know. Her son's doing
the Queen.
I thought there was a Queen on Facebook.
Well, there's many. Anyway, let's get down to the core of our subject today.
Let's get back. So my opinion on renting a wedding dress is, you know, if you're not a sentimental girl and you're really looking at it as you're wearing it once, hey, why not? You can get a good dress at a value. I mean, smell the pits first before you get it.
Well, that's okay. You're so Jewish, too. I had to remind you that Hanukkah was coming up, so...
Well, I like Hanukkah when we're out west when it comes later. Hanukkah in New York is not as exciting.
I know. That's not true. Hanukkah, well... Why do you have more? Actually, this time of the year, is there snow out actually in Jacksonville already?
They just had 15 inches, and we've already discussed this. But in Jackson, we have our moose menorah, so you know the snow.
Okay, that's really the vision of that.
I'll show you my moose menorah.
It's very It's very Hyman Schmeckel.
Brad has his new sick names, but anyway. Putting Mr. Chaim Schmeckel aside, let's talk about what to wear to a holiday Christmas party.
Actually, now, this is a very serious subject, by the way, because we get so many letters from viewers.
People go crazy, and I wrote this up several years ago. And if you want to look this up on Focus on Style in our archives, we have some great information.
Okay, I'm going to give you an example of a really bad one, and this one is stuck in my mind. It's actually damaged me. I throw really
many things have damaged.
That's
Brad.
true. I've been known for throwing very beautiful, over-the-top, extravagant Christmas parties in my life, and many years ago, I did a party for a very fabulous and famous client of mine on Fifth Avenue in her Fifth Avenue penthouse, and
is that the one who's like a bazillionaire?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And one of the guests arrived, who I've known for years, and I just to this day it still disturbs me. Okay, are you ready for this? She showed up in a red and black skin-tight lycra zebra dress. She has thunder thighs, and it was mid-thigh, the dress.
Let me ask you a question.
Now, and now it's even better than that. She had on, are you ready? She had on black and white polka dot stockings. Okay. And she had on white high heels.
Was she an old hooker?
No, and she was in her 20s. It was the scariest
Was
thing
she
I'd
a
ever
young
seen.
hooker?
But what polka dot, black and white polka dot
So
stockings.
when you have to go to an office
Don't
Christmas
look
party,
like that.
Don't look like a hooker. But there's two things. There's two kind of office parties. There's the one that sort of is immediately after work when you
Now, don't get me wrong. There usually is a couple hookers at a Christmas party.
Well, it depends, especially if it's very corporate. There are two.
Especially if it's Charlie Sheen.
There's usually two kinds of office Christmas parties. There's the one that is immediately after work, where it's not as dressy as another one, but it's still, formal. And there's the one that is a few hours later on a Saturday night.
It's a full-on.
It's a full-on Christmas party. It's
incredible, yeah.
But so we'll talk about them in two different ways. So there's one rule of thumb that you should go for, whether it's immediately after work or at the big banquet hall on Saturday night, is do not show
in Flushing in a banquet hall in Flushing,
darling. Do not. It's still work. You still want to look.
Don't go. Well, first of all, a rule of thumb for an after-work party: do not go as a disco ball.
No,
do not.
Like this dress that I'm wearing. This is not an after-work Christmas party.
That's a big splash.
This is a Saturday night.
That's a big splash. That's
however, the reason why it's also appropriate for a business occasion is notice. It's not low cut. It's also, if I was stand up, you'd say it's also not a micro mini.
You mean you're not trying to hook the boss?
I'm not trying to hook the boss. It's a little glitzy and it's not low cut. And so
actually, you wore this last night to the Glad auction, and weren't there a couple drag queens eyeing you?
And a couple of housewives.
No, weren't there a couple drag queens eyeing you, though? I thought, if you'd gone to the bathroom, you may have come out naked. They would have stolen it.
I think it's because they weren't drag queens. I think it's because they were label queens. I think they knew who the dresses by. But anyway, it's YSL. But anyway, I think...
And don't try this at home.
What?
YSL.
Oh. Why?
Because it'll kill your budget.
Oh, well, I know, but I didn't pay full price. So, if I did, this price in that woman's holiday party would be right up there. But anyway, the thing is, when you go to an office Christmas party, you still want to look like a lady.
You do.
You don't want to look like a hoe. So in other words, if it's during the day and it's after work and you're wearing a suit, it's perfectly fine to go and change to a dressier blouse, to a slightly sparklier blouse. And do not start with the ornamental Christmas tree pins.
And one of the really great tips, and I've used this with a lot of my clients. It's actually quite beautiful, is to do a beautiful jewel tone satin top.
A beautiful blouse.
Yeah, it's
or
always
even you can wear like a satin kind of dress, and now it's perfectly acceptable to wear a pair of dark hose with it. So if you wear a bright jewel tone dress, you can wear dark hose and black opaque, very thick opaque.
Not as in whores, hose.
Hose.
No.
Hose.
Yeah.
Hosiery.
And one of the interesting things also too with an after work party, don't be afraid to stack on bracelets. It always works, and it's very chic.
And I have my thing about wearing things that are too cheap, but. Ladies, I'm wearing a little YSL bracelet, and guess where the other two sparkly ones are? And I'm not afraid to admit it, because they're really good for two things. They're good for t-shirts and neutral jewelry. Forever 21. So I've got like the really expensive bracelet, and then I've got the Forever 21 ones. And you really can't tell the difference, and it's a matter of mixing high and low. So I've got the dress that'll cost rent, and I've got the cheap bracelet on. And that's kind of a way of being modern and interpreting, how you wear style, but it's also something that's simple and mixing.
So we all have our stories. So what is your most damaging after-work holiday party experience in terms of someone visually, as a train wreck?
I think it's the girl who gets too drunk and who has the shoulder bag, the long chain shoulder bag, and she's wearing the stilettos, and then she's leaving, and the long bag is like dangling on her arm, and she's falling out of her shoes, and her skirt is like a knit, and it's pulled
and we've
up,
all seen that.
And she's like trying to act real ladylike, and she's got the bag, and she's like, and it's so no matter what, you don't show too much information. B, watch what you're drinking. Do not start piling on more than 2 drinks.
Okay,
wear shoes you can walk in.
Yes.
I know that
But what's funny? Okay, this is a great one. Everyone knows who Patricia Field is out there, I hope. But we all love and adore her. She's a legendary stylist who also, that could be her calling actually right now. She must, she's listening to us. It's interesting. She gives fabulous.
Would you like to answer that?
No, she gives fabulous parties.
I think the instruction of turning off the phones didn't work, and it's just going to keep ringing.
That's okay.
Okay.
So, Patricia Field gave a Christmas party, and this was
So
years ago. And
professional.
this is my fabulous story about the drunk girl. Okay, she's so out of it. She goes into Patricia Field's bathroom, and she hikes up her skirt, and she proceeds to pee in the sink. Well, the thing is, she leans on the sink with her thunder thighs, and the sink falls off the wall. The water is gushing out into the party, and they're trying to stop dam the drain from the water, and the poor chick thinks she's done nothing wrong.
You know, the only thing worse than that is to be the girl who goes to the bathroom and walks out with the roll of toilet paper stuck to the heel of your shoe.
Or how about coming out of her pantyhose?
Oh, I was going to say, that's
love
another
that
one.
one.
I actually had that one happen to me once, and I caught it just, it's one of those bathrooms, and you come out, and then there's a
Yeah.
hallway. Just as I was coming out, I kind of like, oops, and this woman's like, I think you should know that. So you know what? If you see someone with their dress stuck in their pantyhose, it's incessant! And that...
What's that?
The phone that was supposedly taken off the hook. So you just
Anyway,
answer that?
thank you for joining us on
And
FocusOnStyle.com.
we keep the pro and professional. Take care.
Bye.